the last video, you'd kind of get the point with Imperator, but you came back once again, and this time you're like, what about the mods, iSorrowproductions? Alright, sure, I haven't looked at the mods for Imperator Rome before, and honestly, I'm not expecting a lot, but I have gone ahead and picked a few, to say the least, to give a go on, because if anything we've learned from Paradox Games is that the mods can always save this goddamn garbage. Alright, first things first, we got a little basic mod, nothing total overhaul-y, no gameplay changes or anything crazy, just one that adds something, why does that guy look like a mole rat from Fallout 3? So yeah, this mod does exactly what it says in the description. It just makes the portraits a hell of a lot better, and you know what? I'm inclined to believe them. Oh my god, I never knew or wanted to know what the bastard love child of Gollum and E.T. would be, but here we are. So obviously this doesn't change anything gameplay wise other than give you something to actually look at and enjoy for the game, but I gotta say, it's getting a chuckle out of me. That's a 5 chuckle out of 10, right there on the chuckle scale. Byzantium, mostly because this guy kind of looks like the male version of Marge Simpson. You see what's different, anyone? No? Yeah, I don't blame you. Right, so the first mod is the Better UI, which essentially, as you can see up here, now gives us little notifications, or I guess a little more tidbits at the top, which actually shows us just a bit more in depth without having to look in our economy tab. So next to our gold now has a little number next to it to actually show how much we're earning, same with our political influence and everything else, which is handy. Just, you know, nothing crazy, but made me a little excited, that's all I'm saying. The next mod, which I thought was kind of cool, was the navigatable river tiles, or at least more navigatable river tiles or something like that. I can't remember the specific name, but it does exactly what you think it would do, and you can now, yeah, look at that, I'm sending my boat right through Egypt. Suez? Who the hell's the Suez? I don't need no Suez around here. I got the inane ability to just go down a river. That's right, nothing like a small cruise down the Nile, boys. Now, the next 2 mods aren't going to be something you can probably see off the top of just looking at the game right now, but they are something that I thought most people would be interested in. Particularly one of them's not that interesting for me, but one of the other ones is, but we'll get in that in a second. So no Paradox game would be complete without a cheat mod. Yay, look at that, we have cheats. So yeah, essentially what this does is allows you to do a bunch of decisions which give you a whole bunch of cheats. So if I go to character options, I can go ahead and just, oh my god, I could just give myself every single trait. I don't really see the point of actually using this to go ahead and actually just, you know, actually just cheat in the game, because usually in Paradox games you can just use the console or stuff like that, which obviously we can't do right now. I don't know why, but that's a bit dumb. But we do have this option now. And I imagine it could be fun if you want to do some custom scenarios, just, you know, just do some dumb stuff. And if Paradox games have shown anything, dumb stuff's pretty fun, right? Now, to show off our next mod, I will have to just go ahead and just give myself a bit of this, bit of that, bit of this, bit of that, bit of that, give me a bit of that. Oh my god, my country's so terrible. I don't even have proper armies I could create. Okay, this is gonna be... it's going to be an interesting one. Never mind, we can just go ahead and use the cheat menu, just spawn in whatever army we want. So war elephants, of course, going to need a few of those, some heavy cavalry, whole bunch of heavy infantry, and we'll top it up with some camel cavalry. Alright, so the next part of these mods I need to show off, I'm actually going to have to go ahead and start a war, and oh my god, I surely won't be able to beat all of these guys. Oh, little face you have. I'm gonna have to pick one of these beautiful specimens to be my general, and I think we're gonna go ahead with Marge Simpson, our current ruler, because he's quite good. It's actually incredibly disappointing. They don't they don't screw up the baby faces. What the hell's the point of this mod if I can't have old Baldy McGee here look like a goddamn spatter's been thrown at it? So after burning through half of Greece right now, you'll notice that in the peace conference, I can actually take a lot of land. Obviously, I can't do it because they won't accept it, but I can take a hell of a lot more land than I could do in vanilla now. That's because this mod is the lower cost for conquesting. This, for the most part, is only really a problem in the late game where it gets a bit too tedious to take down the big nations that have formed, and you can't really take a whole bunch of land, which that kind of did happen back in the day. Obviously, no one was fighting 5 wars just to take over half of like Anatolia back then. So this mod kind of makes it a bit easier on you. I'd say a bit more realistic, but at the same time, it's not really realistic. It's more just from an enjoyment type of aspect, because at the end of the game, you're already big enough to do like take down these nations. So why should you have to go in 5 different times to do it? Obviously, that doesn't, this mod really isn't for me. I guess it's for more people who will actually play to the late game. Something I can happily say that's never gonna happen. But I guess it's definitely an added bonus for what is essentially the biggest map painty game of Paradox's release, that you can actually kind of map paint without wanting to, you know, blow your entire brain out. So that's a positive, really. I do enjoy the fact I have 69 war score in this war right now, but because there's so many big people in it, I can't even take like I can't even take provinces off, I can't take more than 1 province off of Macedonia right now, so maybe there's quite a few more issues with this this damn game that need fixing. Because if you think about it right now, I'm unable to peace out of Macedonia, who I've completely obliterated, because someone, or some people who are not even in the war, are nowhere near me, are currently in the war. So it's that simple. Because Egypt and the Seleucids are in the war right now, I can't peace out Macedonia. Fix your game. I do find it incredibly funny. I'm unable to peace out of Macedon, who I have fully occupied, killed all their leaders, killed all their armies, and all because 13 years ago, the Egyptians and the Seleucids were like, yeah, we'll totally help you out. Whilst looking at, like, pulling that face at the camera, office style. Oh, what's that? Macedonia actually wanted help. Oh, jeez. The funny thing is, like, Egypt doesn't even want to peace out, because -10 capital, -22 war balance. What does that even mean? Well, anyway, I guess I showcased the mod, and to put it simply, everything is now cheaper to take. It's more fun, I'd say, considering the game right now is nothing but a map painting simulator. You might as well have more fun doing it and, you know, have to grind out the same wars every 5 minutes. But yeah, those were the few mods that I thought were just more basic, nothing crazy overhauly or anything like that kind of make the game a little more enjoyable. The cheat one, obviously, I wouldn't say that's necessary, but the conquest one and the UI ones up here, along with the wacky portrait mod, look at that boy! It's Skeletor! Are definitely a very big improvement in my eyes, but I think it's time we go ahead and have a look at some total overhaul mods. So let's get straight into it, shall we? Safe to say I would have been shot twice by now if I didn't actually play this mod. Is the Lord of the Rings mod for oh my god, okay. We're upside down already. Now, this mod is incredibly early accessy, beta, alpha, omega kind of crap. Oh my god, I'm so disorientated. Well, I'm lost in the Tolkien lore already. Where the hell am I? The leader of Mordor kind of looks like Bo. Kind of looks like Bo, doesn't it? Right, so this is the Lord of the Rings mod for Imperator Rome. I'm not entirely sure if this would work any better than the EU4 one, but I have once upon a day played the EU4 one, and it worked. I can't remember if I enjoyed it or not, though. Personally, I'm not entirely sure if Lord of the Rings would really work in Imperator. I feel like it'd definitely be more of a CK2 type of deal, and I'm pretty sure there is a CK2 mod out there, more than likely. I don't see why there wouldn't be, but, Imperator, would it work? I don't know. Gondor's pretty thick. I'm also always behind on my Tolkien lore. Sometimes I stay up till 4 AM just reading through random crap on the wiki, and then the next day it's completely out of my brain, which probably for the best, honestly. But there is a whole selection of people we can actually play as, and we got some interesting ones. We've got like the Iron Hills up here. Everyone knows about the Iron Hills and their stupid hills made of iron with their terrible dwarf people living in there. And then, you know, you got your fan favorites like Gondor up here. We got Edhelond, goddamn elf people. Got the Shire over here. There's loads. There's so much variety of people to play as. Hold on a second. You know, I don't think the leader of Lorien over here is actually a king. But then again, it's 2019, right? Yeah, be whatever you want. Yeah, I can kind of understand like this area of like Tolkien lore, but as soon as like we get over to whatever the hell this is, I'm assuming someone just had a stroke at some point at Tolkien and said, screw it. Yuppie! Alright, so I guess without any further ado, I'm going to go ahead and play as Mordor. I'm not entirely sure how you actually manage to play them, considering the way out of Mordor is currently uncolonized, and there's a big gate here. There it is. That's the big gate from the movie, if you've watched that one. It's also because I mostly relate to the leaders of the Mordorians. I just can't relate to Chemisil Anurionf, you know? And I need some Gorha Barzai! Oh, well, they've actually scaled the units differently, which is pretty interesting. And it looks like they've got some custom models, although it does kind of look like I'm just rotten, really. Not so much like Scourge and Nightmare of, you know, the land. More kind of just dead body floating in the lake for a couple months. So yeah, unfortunately, like all of Imperator right now, there is actually no real way to guide a direction in the game. There's no missions, focus trees, or event type dealies to kind of, you know, RP or create a story, so we're kind of going to have to wing it ourselves. Oh, I can also demand the nobles of this country convert to the worship of Melkor. Hold on, let me just go get the wiki up. Oh god, oh no, it's Silmarillion Delios. Oh god, sure, Melkor, welcome, sure. I'm incredibly upset that our portrait mod doesn't work with this, so that's a -1. If you could make your mod more compatible with the weird portrait mod, Lord of the Rings guys, that'd be, oh my god, the children, oh my, he looks like a potato. I know, like the little goblin orc people come from the ground sometimes, but come on. This guy's still, he's not ready. I'm gonna go ahead and make him my rival straight away. I can't trust that little bastard. No, I'm kind of sad that they haven't really changed the trade goods yet. I would like to import like small human babies to eat for my little orcish children, but unfortunately there's no option, game. Yeah, I don't want to like question it, but why do all the leaders of Gondor have some weird freako eyeballs? Are you all, as every single one of you, blind? It's quite nice that they've actually bothered to actually model some stuff for the map, though. That's pretty cool. I'm enjoying that quite a bit. There's not a lot more else for me to do right now other than mod the map. I'm finding it very hilarious about the idea of turning Mordor into a democracy. That's gonna be my goal. I can also go ahead and declare war on the Nern. Kind of scared, but also I'm just gonna do it, so let's go see what happens. So, yeah, that didn't go too well. If you can't tell, every time one of their armies just sieged down one of my provinces, they just, they just flipped to uncolonized because there was like one population in each of them. And then the country I was invading got taken over by the Court of Melkor, and that just kind of collapsed the invasion all in all. We are still alive though, like all our good provinces kind of exist. It's just the ones that had no population in. They're gone. So that's Mordor, baby. All right, we're gonna try that again, but this time we're gonna put down forts beforehand. There we go. That time it went a lot better, and I split the Nern right down the middle. Oh, that's Yaklug is now depressed. Don't blame you, mate. Looking like that. Oh. It's also lustful. A lustful, depressed, modest, orc, tough jealous? Oh my god, Yaglug. Oh, I don't know if I think this is just a mod. I can actually go ahead and found a city, which is, interesting. I've always wondered what a little orc city would look like. You know, I wouldn't really call it a city, but it's kind of better than the rest of our land, I suppose. Oh! We got some crisis in Gondor right now. Pretenders in Gondor could now be supported with a new character interaction, you say? Oh, there we go. I just inspired disloyalty. I don't know how this little orc got into Gondor and whispered in this man's ear and he actually listened to it, but oh my god, corruption. Here we go. At the same time, I'm trying to make friends with the leader of Gondor. He's 138 years old. I think we could get on. Oh god, it's Melkor time. Sauron, Melkor. If you ever wondered what type of person Sauron was, he's very sarcastic. He's a bit jealous, vengeful, and obsessive. He's a bit quirky. Hold on a second there, Sauron. Is that just intrude out? Oh, here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and send Sauron. Crocodile. There we go. So Sauron a crocodile. Best buds for life. Right, actually, I think this Melkor guy has gone a bit too far, and I also noticed I have double the troop count as him, so we're gonna risky the biscuit. Okay, hold the phone. I might as well just take out Gondor, right? I could do that. 207. This guy's blind. He won't even see it coming. Alright, this is going to go terribly. And that's just the name of the game on this channel. I've made a terrible mistake. Gondor's got so much tech on me that... Don't worry, guys. I traveled back in time and we're all safe and sound from the evil Gondorians. Alright, back to the original suicidal plan. Surprisingly, this ain't going too goddamn bad. Now, one thing I do want to go ahead and actually praise about this game, Imperator Rome, is the ability to actually put your units on AI. You can actually put them to defend borders or independent operations, which, as soon as you've beaten the enemy armies, is an incredibly useful feature. So you can just send them out to go siege provinces or go up here to defend provinces. It's one of the best features in any Paradox game. There you go, look. A bunch of orky boys just made Sauron their bitch. Although, I guess if we're being technical, a bunch of hobbity boys just went ahead and made him look like even more of a bitch before, so, I think he's just kind of finger against small people. Yeah. I find it hilarious that Sauron has friends. It's so dumb. Alright, so that was the Rome Imperator Rome mod review. Right, yeah, that was the Lord of the Rings mod for Imperator Rome. Incredibly fun, especially I guess if you're more into Lord of the Rings. Personally, I'm entry level Lord of the Rings guy. I don't know all my goddamn lore, so it's still fun though. Pretty good. Probably more fun for me to play than the base game at the moment. I think what the game really needs, though, is just more RP-driven stuff, or I guess just more story-driven stuff, so missions, focuses, stuff like that. Because once again, it does get pretty boring pretty quickly, and I don't imagine the Cult of Melkor is really going to get a lot done now that I pushed them out of Mordor. So, yeah, fun. Needs work, but obviously this is like, I think the first release of the mod, so you can't expect much. But yeah, all in all, my final analysis of Imperator Rome, is it good with mods, is it's better. Still pretty shit though.